Unit 7. Old Habits and New Experiences. Lesson 1. Sami's favourite sport. Track 34. Exercise B. Pronunciation. Repeat paragraph 3.
Safety for drivers and crowds is very important. For example, safety walls to protect people watching must be 1 meter high. Circuits have to have safety cars to help drivers during rain or after serious accidents.
Lesson 2. Grandma used to like the area. Track 35, Exercise B. Listening. Check the 10 incorrect words in each article. 1.
My grandma, Hassan, and me live in a new house. When Hassan was growing up, she didn't used to live in a modern house like ours. She used to live in the old part of Riyadh in a traditional house. The walls were made of mud bricks, not concrete and steel. The windows used to be made of wood, not made of glass. Grandma was very fond of her old house. She used to like the area where she worked too. It was near the old market. She used to love looking at the clothes materials, the leather goods, food and spices for sale.
2.
When I was 6, I was jealous of my sisters because they went to school and I didn't. Every morning when they left home, I used to cry because I couldn't go with them. This used to annoy my mother. One day, she bought me a little school bag, made me a sandwich, put it in a box in my school bag, and took me with my sisters to the school bus. Then she brought me home again and I ate the sandwich. After that, I used to be very happy because I was going to school like my sisters.
Lesson 3. Young Achievers. Track 36, Exercise D. Listening. Complete the table.
A 15-year-old boy from North America has climbed all the highest mountains in different continents. He has become the youngest person to do this. He has beaten the record of a 16-year-old climber from Britain. Jordan always climbs with his father, and he has climbed for a long time. When Jordan was 10, in 2006, he climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. Mount Kilimanjaro has a height of 5,900 metres. In July 2007, Jordan climbed Mount Elbrus in Europe. Mount Elbrus is 5,650 metres tall. In February 2008, he got to the top of 7,000-metre Mount Aconcagua in South America. 6 months later, in August 2008, Jordan reached the top of Mount McKinley in North America. This mountain is 6,200 metres high. In 2009, he climbed Mount Puncak Jaya in Oceania. This mountain is the tallest mountain in the world on an island. Its height is 4,900 metres. In May 2010, at the age of 13, he became the youngest person to climb Mount Everest in Asia, the highest mountain in the world, with a height of 8,850 metres. Finally, In December 2011, Jordan Romero reached the top of Mount Vinson Massif, a mountain in Antarctica with a height of 4,900 metres.
Lesson 4. Review. Track 37, Exercise A. Listening. Complete the sentences with must or have to.
Would you like me to tell you more about me and my family, Dalal?
Yes, I would. Who is it in that photo?
It's me, when I was 6 years old. When I was at primary school, the girls had to wear blue and white dresses.
Did you have to go to school every day?
Yes, I did. I had to get up early, as school began at 8:30 in the morning.
Did you stay all day?
Yes. My mother had to make sandwiches for my lunch. In the winter, I ate them in the school canteen. But in summer, we used to go outside to eat.
Did you enjoy going to school when you were small?
Oh, yes. I had lots of friends. The lessons were fun, and the teachers were not very strict. I didn't have to do any homework. Now it's different. The teachers are much stricter, and I always have lots of homework.
It's the same in my school. We must do homework every day. We mustn't forget or give it to the teachers late, or we will get into trouble.
Do you have a lot of homework today?
Yes, I will have to go home soon, or I won't have enough time to finish it. Do you have a lot of homework too?
Yes, I'm working on a project, but I won't have to finish it until next week. Should we look at some more pictures before you go?
Unit 8. Rest, Research and Religion. Lesson 1. The weather was so nice that I went to the park. Track 38, Exercise E. Listening and speaking. Repeat paragraphs A and B.
The weather was so nice last Thursday that I went to the park. It wasn't such a hot day that I felt uncomfortable. The park was beautiful. I wanted to stay there. 20 minutes later, a woman and 2 young children arrived. They were eating and drinking. One child dropped a sweet packet. The other dropped a water bottle. Then they left the park.
Lesson 2. Did you sleep well? Track 39, Exercise F. Listening. These people are describing dreams. Number the pictures in the order you hear them. 1.
I was walking slowly through some trees. I saw a lion. It began to run. I ran. The lion ran more quickly than me. It was getting nearer. I tried to run faster, but I couldn't. The lion opened its mouth. Then... At this time, I always wake up. I'm tired and breathing heavily.
2.
It was the day of the school exams. I went into the room and sat down. The other girls looked nervously at me, but I smiled confidently at them. I know the answers because I have worked hard this year and I have revised well. The teacher tells us to start. I answer the questions more quickly than the other girls and leave the room.
3.
I look out the window. The sun is shining brightly. A large bird is flying lazily across the blue sky. I watch it. Then there is a loud noise. I look quickly around the room. Someone is shouting angrily. Who is it? The voice shouts more angrily than before. Ali, where can you see the pyramids? I look at the teacher sadly. I can't answer.
4.
I am standing outside our house. Suddenly, I see smoke coming under the front door. I shout to my sister, Fatima, there's a fire! Leave the house immediately! My sister can't hear me, and she waves happily at me from the window. I shout again, more loudly, but Fatima doesn't move. I'm still shouting when I wake up.
Lesson 3. Muslims in Britain. Track 40, Exercise B. Listening. Check your answers.
In my research, I discovered there are about 1.5 million Muslims who live in Britain today. The story of Islam here begins about 500 years ago. There is a record of a British man, John Nelson, who became a Muslim at that time. During the 18th century, other British people who travelled to the Islamic world converted to Islam. For example, Edward Montagu, who was the son of a British ambassador to Turkey. The first large group of Muslims in Britain were sailors from India who came here about 300 years ago. The next group was sailors from Yemen. The first mosque in Britain was in Cardiff, a port city where Yemenis lived. Many Muslims arrived in Britain in the 1960s. They came from India or Pakistan. They came to towns in the north of England like Leeds and Bradford, where they found jobs in factories. There are now Muslims who have been in Britain for 50 or 60 years and many more who were born here. In Blackburn, the town where I live, 20% of the population is Muslim. There are 2 Islamic secondary schools, one for boys and one for girls, where Muslim students can study.
Lesson 3. Muslims in Britain. Track 41. Exercise E. Listening. Number Sarah's pictures in the order you hear them.
1,
This is the butcher's where my dad works.
2,
The woman on the right who is sitting is my mother.
3,
This is the mosque where my dad prays on Friday.
4,
This photo shows pilgrims who are going on the Hajj.
5,
This is a picture of my brother who is studying maths at university.
6,
This is the school where my sister and I used to study.
Lesson 4. Review. Track 42, Exercise A. Listening. Use words from the box to complete the sentences.
It was a lovely day. We went to Al Shaib Park. It has many beautiful pools and fountains. A lot of people come to admire them. It was very hot and I became thirsty. My father brought me a cool drink.
My parents took me to the National Museum of Riyadh. The museum is very large and has 8 floors. You can't see everything in one visit. It was an interesting place. I would like to go there again.
We went to the Kingdom Centre and went up the tower. It is very high. You can see the whole city from it. We went to the shopping centre afterwards. It was very expensive. I couldn't afford to buy anything.
My brother took me to a football match at the King Fayed Stadium. The game was very exciting. People were cheering all the time. I was very tired when I got home, and I went straight to bed.